this video, we're taking on the most shockingly bizarre foods we can find here in Tokyo, Japan. Japan is known for its sashimi, its ramen, and its wagyu. But did you know it's also known for some other weird stuff too? This is a country where you can find foods like raw horse, raw shark heart, and even alien-looking snakefish called borasubo. Well, today I'm on a mission to find the strangest, most unique restaurants serving food fare you won't find in any other country. And by the end of this video, I'll eat one of the most shocking foods I've seen anywhere ever. We're talking about a bear paw. I know what you're thinking. That's not food. You mean a bear's foot? That's what I mean. We have a lot to get to today, but let me tell you, this video is going to be challenging for me as a consumer, but also for you as a viewer. So I need you to hang in there. Stay with me through this. Don't make me do this alone. All right, right now we're headed to our first location, the location containing the bear paw. Right behind me, Gibier Kishiiya. This is a restaurant specializing in game meats. Evidently included in those game meats is bear paw. This is a dish that takes all day to make, so we've come here in the morning to see it get started, and by this evening, we're actually gonna be able to eat it. But first, I wanna take a look at this bear paw. Oh my God. Guys, have you ever seen anything like this? 3 giant bear paws. Where's the 4th one? This bear was an amputee. This bear went top. Iraq. I'm sorry. You can see clearly these 2 are the back feet. This is the front paw. Oh, it feels so weird. Look at these massive fingernails, claws that could actually tear you to shreds. And then on this side, dude, look at that pad. This is thick, callous. Oh, it's bigger than my hand. All right, I'm gonna pick up the back one. Oh my God, it looks notably different. A big, thick, padded, super callous bottom of the foot right there. Thick hair covering everything. And then of course right here, that's where its ankle socks end. This is a wild one for me, but what's really wild is trying to understand how this even works. Where are these bears from? Why are they eating it? Why is it so expensive? And how did this become a tradition in Japan? That is what I need to find out. Next, I'm gonna head inside and speak to the owner about this. We have a lot to discuss. The sourcing is perhaps the most interesting part of this. How do you, in a giant city with like 20 million people, get your hands on these hands?
He gets these shipped all the way from Hokkaido, and he asked a middleman company who has connections with all these hunters like from Hokkaido, and he's also in connection with like hunters themselves as well.
Hunters. So all the bears here are hunted. They're not like farm-raised bears, I guess. Are there that many bears in Japan?
There are many bears out there. However, the good thing is the demand's pretty low, so there's not as many stores or restaurants that serve bear paw in Japan.
Why is there a focus on the feet in particular?
It's considered like a luxury dish in China over there, so that culture kind of swept into Japan, and so even in Japan it's considered a luxury dish. In addition to that, personally for Kishii-san, he really enjoyed like the impact of it.
I assume when he says impact, I mean like the visual. Take a look at this. That looks insane. Here, hold it.
It's so heavy.
It's so big.
It's so big.
It looks like it came from a dinosaur. So from here, we're gonna prepare it, and by tonight, it'll be ready to eat. Step 1 is happening right here. He has a pressure cooker pot, and he is filling that with water right now. He puts that into the pot, submerging the whole thing, and we will say goodbye to that guy. We'll see that in a couple of hours.
In the meantime, the chef prepares a delicacy so rare, few Japanese have even tried it. The brain of a deer. First, it's lightly seasoned with flavor enhancers, salt, MSG, and pepper. Next, he coats both sides of the brain with flour. In a skillet, the chef adds a splash of olive oil and a bit of butter. Once it's sizzling hot, the brain is placed in the pan. When one side is fully seared, he gives it a flip, basting it with care. Into the oven it goes for 20 minutes to cook through. Then it returns to the skillet for a final touch of golden perfection, if you want to call it that. He flavors the plate with a sauce made with a blend of herbs, garlic, breadcrumbs, and anchovies.
All right, folks, this is my first meal of the day, and it is a doozy. This is not just any ordinary brain. This is the brain of a deer. What is a part of the brain that understands how traffic works? Because that is missing in every single deer, especially in Minnesota, where I'm from. Let's dig into it. So I've got some of my green emulsion mixed with some of that beautiful brain. Let's give it a shot. Wow, very fatty, soft, tender. The outside does have a little bit of a skin to it. That being said, all the flavors in my mouth Fireworks, amazing.
This is my first taste of the day, and I've got to say, it's a strong start. But in the end, it's just a distraction from the inevitable Bear Paw.
I am here again with Kishii-san. 2 hours has gone by and we are gonna remove the bear paw from the pot and see how it looks. Oh, it looks nuts. It's a bit smelly, although this is looking a lot cleaner and you can see the claws just sticking out of the water. From here, he's filling the pot with even more water and dumping some of that out. The smells in here are amazing. Not really. He peels off the bottom of the foot, the pad, revealing the pink subdermis. Slowly but steadily, he peels away the skin and the fur, revealing the nice pink meat underneath. Looking at this thing now without the hair, it looks even more terrifying. It's so big, so muscular. I mean, look at this foot. It looks wild. From here, he's gonna finish the tedious work of pulling out every single hair, and then that's gonna head back into the pressure cooker, right?
While the bear paw spends some hours braising, I'm hitting the streets on the lookout for some more exceptional, unexpected Japanese food.
While our bear paw is cooking at our first location, we have come here, a place called Rice and Circus. And let me tell you, it is a circus inside. And no, I don't just mean it's wild and chaotic. I mean, like every animal that you've ever seen in a circus, they're probably serving them up here. This is not common food in Japan. This is kind of like wild stamina dude foods. The owner is already underway cooking up our first dish. We're gonna go inside, check it out, and then learn more about the food they're serving here. Let's move. All right, folks, I'm entering the kitchen now, meeting Mr. Momiyama-san right here. This is our starting course. Kintama. That might, in Japanese, mean testicles. Testicles. These are not just any testicles. These are wild boar testicles. I'm told they're a little bit smaller than a pig's testicles. Now he is going to prepare this into a delicious appetizer for me to try. Step one, he takes the testicle, which appears to be frozen. It's a testicle icicle at the moment. He slices each end and he takes the skin from the outside of the testicle and just peels it away. From here, he gives the testicle a bit of a slice. They look like they could be pepperonis on a pizza. Kind of, a little bit, not really. He eats it with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then here we have some flour. These look like donut holes at this point. The testicles are sizzling away. He throws some greens into the pan and a little bit of butter. He hits it with some soy sauce. He seasons the plate with pepper. And just like that, our testicle is finished. I'm gonna give one a shot right now. Oishi? Oishi. Oishi. All right, he says it's yummy. Let's go for it. Oishi.
Oh, thank you.
It's got a nice flavor to it. It almost tastes more beefy than it does porky, even though it is technically pork. You would think it would be more fatty and gelatinous, but it's almost like a hard pate. It has kind of almost like a crumbly texture in the center. The seasoning's basic but delicious. He's got some veggies in there too. It's legitimately good. So this is my appetizer, and it's actually the least strange thing I'm gonna be eating here today. I wanna talk to this guy more to learn about how this place works. Thank you for the testicle. That was a wonderful experience. This place seems like it has a little bit of everything. Can you explain what the theme of this place is?
美味しいは楽しい。楽しいは美味しい。
The motto of their company is fun equals good tasting food. And so we want people to be happy, like having fun. And when you serve things that are so like bizarre and interesting, it's just like naturally they have a smile on their face or they're like really intrigued.
Can you tell me some of the more bizarre items that are popular here?
特殊なやつはやっぱり
One of the rare ones is definitely the testicle, and then also the brain, sheep, pig, and for this year, they're thinking about hopefully getting whale brain.
Whale brain? Is that the size of a Cadillac? I am back in the kitchen with Momiyama-san. We've got one other food in store. That food being this right here. That, my friends, is a Japanese crow that he's about to cook up that I'm going to be tasting shortly. Step one, he puts it in a bowl and he seasons it with a little bit of salt. He hits it with a little bit of oil. The seasonings are quite simple, especially for Japan, but it's because folks here want to have the real taste of whatever animal it is that they're eating. He puts it on a steel tray and it looks like that is going to head into the oven in the world's smallest kitchen. 20 minutes has passed. It is time to pull out that crow. There we go. Still sizzling. Oh my gosh, it looks insane. Look at that face. All right, folks, we have our epic main course right here, starting with the bird. The breast meat is usually the best because it has the most actual protein. So it looks a little bit medium. Let's give it a shot. Not bad. It kind of tastes like quail breast, but more substantial. It's a bigger bird. It's got bigger pecs, more muscle for more flight. That is the breast. But my favorite part of most birds is right here. This is the drumstick. Oh my God, just do some jujitsu to it. Oh yeah, that's what happened to Conor McGregor right there. And then there you have it. Cheers. Yeah, tough indeed. It's a rich meat. It tastes good. It's most similar to maybe quail or puffin. A bit tough. And it has a lot of hemoglobin. It tastes like bloody and juicy, almost like a steak.
So that is the crow, but the real highlight of this location is right beside it. The horse's, how do I say this? Caw. At first glance, it may seem terrifying to some of you. And that's because it absolutely is.
Let's talk about what we're gonna be eating today. You have, I feel like we need to bleep it. Today I'm having a horse penis. Why?
So first reason is because a lot of people throw away penises. So to like use things that we don't use, kind of like sustainability, I guess, in a way. The second reason is definitely for fun. Everyone who comes here, they always ask, do you have this penis? Do you have that penis?
This seems pretty fun. All right, should we do it?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we have our horse part right here. He's gonna pick it up and just show us the size. That's big. And when he puts it down, it looks like it could be its own species. I never thought I would come face to face with something like this. Brutal. The first thing he does is he puts it into this pot of boiling water. And you know what? Let's get a couple in there while we're at it. All of that is gonna boil in there for 90 minutes. I'm told these horse parts are from France, Japan, and Canada. Wow, such a multicultural group right there.
After boiling for a while, all the meats are moved to a pressure cooker for 10 minutes, with salt and MSG added to give the horse parts a flavor boost. Once the boiling is done, it heads into the oven for another 30 minutes to really lock in the flavor.
Let's see the final product. Oh my God. Ooh. Here we have our horse appendage plated in its final resting place. It looks... Yeah, it looks gruesome. I don't know what to say. I'm not excited. Hold on, let me give it a little bit of a sniff. Good smell, he said. This thing right here costs $56. It's a bit pricey for a nightmare of a food experience. If we were showing this in a traditional Japanese film, we would have to do this to it. Pixelation. So I'm gonna start with mid-shaft, I guess. This is a good time to click away from the video, but don't do it. Oh God, it's so gummy. This is a lot to handle. The only thing giving me comfort is knowing that in a second, I'm gonna turn the camera around and make the camera guy take a bite. Cheers. That tastes pretty good. It just tastes like kind of roast beef. I thought it was gonna have an intense smell or gamey aroma to it. It doesn't. What about this part? This thing has been braised so long in that pressure cooker, it has really broken down all the fat. It's become very tender. They could throw this inside a Mexican taco. You wouldn't really know what it was. You would think it's beef. Sure, there's some unusual textures. It's kind of like gooey, tendon, soft meat. You can just see the texture as I move it around. But in the end, it's pretty good. So I know what you're asking yourself. Since I generally enjoy this overall, am I gonna be willing to try the tip? The answer may surprise you. It's no. But my camera guy. I've got a small portion right here. Here, let me borrow that from you. How you feeling, Thomas?
Not so great anymore.
Stab it?
Have to be the whole thing.
It's a one biter. Give it a shot. It's like braised beef. Imagine it's just braised beef.
Cool.
You want some sake?
That's good.
Go ahead.
Oh, so fatty.
Well done. That is an experience you can't undo. But today we have a lot more to see. Soon we're going to be going to that first location again to try the completed Bear Paw. But first, if you are coming to Japan, I highly recommend booking a food tour or food experience with Byfood.com. I'll talk about them more at the end of the video, but now we're headed to our next location where we're going to try something that's still alive. Let's move. We have come to our next location here, a place where you can actually go fishing for your food yourself. And then the food they turn that food into. It's wild. Let me show you how it works. First of all, we have a diagram right here. Step 1, buy a fishing rod, then go fishing, then do a dance of joy once you've caught a fish. From there, you pass the fish to a chef, then they cook it in any way you prefer, and finally, you eat the fish. Let me show you inside. Basically, it's a giant pool with a boat built on top of it. Then inside, you've got water that is full of fish. These are fish that you can catch yourself with a fishing rod if you would like. Along here, they have a load of different fish. They have horse mackerel, they have sea bream. As you keep going, they even have lobster. How are you gonna fish for a lobster? We are gonna be having a lobster later though. Right now, we're headed into the kitchen for a food known as dancing squid. We have our squid wrangler right here. We have our chef, and we have the star of the show right here. That is the squid. Step one, remove the squid from its little prison. He takes a knife and he goes beneath the cap, cutting it off, removing it, turning the whole thing white. He puts a stick inside of it, puts it over some ice, and then he takes some soy sauce, he pours it on top, and that is our dancing squid. Oh man, that looks gnarly. Additionally, he gets some lemon to put on top. Can I say that was a pretty short-lived dancing career? Oh, hold on. We got a twitch. Meanwhile, over here we have the cap from the squid. The chef splits it in half, and that's like its organs and brain and digestive. All of it's in its head. He peels the skin from the main meat of the squid, leaving behind this beautiful, meaty, translucent layer. From here, he cuts the bony tendon from the cap. Ew, we don't want that. He lightly scores it, not cutting it all the way through. Whoa, then he chucks it at the cutting board, it curls up immediately. And from here, he really juliennes the squid, cutting it into thin pieces. He put the skin of the squid onto the serving dish, and then our squid cap sashimi going on next. Good? Good, thank you. Boom, squid right here. This is like the thin strips of sashimi. Let's give it a shot. Hit it with a little bit of soy sauce. Oh, that's good. It's a delightful texture. It's cold, it's very dense. It's really like squid, and that's about it. If you had this skin on there, I'm guessing it would feel a lot more slimy. Ugh. Am I supposed to eat this? You know, after the horse? Let's go for it. Hit it with a little bit of soy sauce, and I wish I had a beer. It's really crumpy. Oh my God, it's like chewing on snot. It's like if a booger had a skeleton. It's similar firmness to this part right here, except it's even more thin, except for it also has a slimy layer of skin on the outside of it. I kind of liked it. So that is the dancing or seasoring squid. But from here, we're going back into the kitchen because they have one more live seafood that they want to show me. Round two requires one of these, a lobster. These are red spiny lobsters. Yeah, take a look at this bad boy. Lively, big. They've got huge legs. It's like the spider of the ocean, but with a tail too. This is what we're after right here, the sashimi that resides within the tail. But this isn't just about the sashimi, they're calling this live lobster. Let's go see how they do it. Step one, he shivs the lobster. He goes under the shell, separates the tail, and rips the whole top of it off. Now that gets transported quickly over to here, and the head is put onto this decorative boat. Now he's got the tail, he takes his scissors to it, releasing that delicious succulent meat on the inside. He's cut it in half, and then he cuts it into smaller bits. That goes on to this beautiful decorative platter. A platter complete with a moving lobster head. Do you think the lobster is gonna be okay? I don't want it to hold a grudge. It looks mad. There you go. Sorry. Don't show that. Meanwhile, chopsticks. Right here we have that sashimi. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. Oh my God, it's so delicious. It's tender, it's a little fatty, there's no sinew, and it's a completely different experience to eating cooked lobster. One more bite. Thank you, lobster. You did good work. I'm not considering everyone's opinion in the room, but for me, absolutely delicious. So that is the live seafood portion of today. But from here, we're going back to the Bear Paw location to see if our food is finally done. Let's take a look. We are back in the kitchen. I am with Kishii-san, and he has finished doing his manicure on this Bear Paw. It looks terrifying. How do you say scary in Japanese? Kawaii.
Kawaii.
Guys, I don't oh, the nails even come off. Here, let me just put that back. There you go. So from here, we're gonna finish the cooking process. He is putting the paw into the pot, and that is gonna boil for about 15 minutes.
While the bear paw boils, the chef adds a mix of greens and vegetables, carrots, onions, bay leaves, leeks, celery, and garlic cloves to help eliminate any gamey flavors.
I guess the big question, what everyone's wondering is, why are people eating this?
逆に他の国食べない。
Counter question, he's like, do not people abroad like eat bear paws?
Oh, wow. Well, you got me there. We do all the time. No, some people eat bear in the USA, but I would say it's pretty rare. They honestly would probably discard the paws.
まあそうですね。まあ言われるのはやっぱ
Same as like China, some people eat it for good luck, good fortune. In addition, there's a lot of collagen, so a lot of people come eat it for like beauty reasons, like for the skin, etc.
After 30 minutes, the stove is turned off, allowing the pressure in the pot to naturally release until it's safe to open.
It's interesting saying that there's collagen, it's good for beauty, because there's no way women are eating this.
そんなことはない。
Oh, そんなことない。
逆に女性の方が油の強い。
Actually, around like 60% of the people who come to his restaurant and eat the bear paw is actually women.
Amazing. Maybe this is just a sign of modern times. Women are getting into the crazy food too.
Next, he strains out the vegetables, leaving the stalk behind, a portion of which is boiled separately to create a reduction. And here it is, the bear paw, after an entire day of boiling and preparing. In a separate pan, the paw is simmered with some bear stock while being basted with vinegar and honey. Once the bear paw turns light brown, it's left to rest. Meanwhile, the remaining rich brown stock from the pan is poured into the sauce reduction and boiled for a few more minutes until it becomes thick.
All right, guys, we have it right here, the final product, the fully cooked bear paw, and it's all due to this man right here, Kishii-san. Amazing work. Let's talk about money. This is one of the most prized parts of the bear's body. He did not have any paws laying around, and what he said is that I would have to buy 4 paws from a freshly hunted bear. How much did I pay for that? For 4 bear paws, it was over $1,000. Essentially, it's around $260 or $70 per foot. So maybe watch the video twice. Maybe go support our sponsors. I'm gonna build up a little bit of liquid courage before we get started here. Now this is sake in a jar. I'm not really sure how to have at this. Oh, there's some nice gooey bits right there. The bear has a bit of a gamey, a bit of a funk to it, but then there's astringent, sour, smelly balsamic vinegar. So you can see some of that has become very gummy and is falling off. Right here, I've got a little bit of the side of the paw. Cheers. Very gummy, super gelatinous. It's a funky tasting bear. If I'm gonna get any meat out of this thing, I gotta go to the palm. These are the pads, the toes, and then the pads on the bottom of the foot. That is gonna be super gelatinous. Let's try to get this. Oh, it's so gooey. So this seems to be a bit more meaty. This seems like legitimate protein. Let's give it a shot. Oh, wow. It's so spongy. It's like eating lungs. You bite and it bites back. That is the springy tissue that's meant to support the weight of a bear that weighs over 450 pounds. Of course, it's just gonna be padding. Struggling here, my guy. He's already moved on to his next project. Let's try this. This is the toe. That one's a little bit more like cow skin, just very thick skin that's been braised forever. It's fatty, it's gelatinous. Right now I feel so grateful that he mixed all these bear flavors with his strong balsamic vinegar, and it's very powerful, and it's offsetting any of that funkiness from the bear claw. This is something I feel like that could feed a group of people. First of all, it's super rich. This can't be a meal. There's no way someone's sitting down to eat a whole bear paw. This is an unbelievable tradition, a food that when I heard about it, I was very shocked to hear that it existed here in Japan. Today I set out with the goal of eating bear paw, and we found one and we cooked it, and by golly, I ate it up. What a treat. But from now, I'm gonna go outside and tell you which food I thought was the most shocking from today and which food I suggest you never try. Let's move. Today was a wild day. Inside, I told you I was gonna tell you which food was the most shocking to me, but also which food I think you shouldn't try. Can I be honest? It's the same food. It is the bear paw. Yes, I know I ate it, but I ate it for journalistic purposes. Basically, I ate the bear paw so you don't have to. I can't have it on my conscience that a bunch of tourists come to Japan and eat bear paw now. Don't do it. This was such a unique experience and something I'm probably never gonna experience again. Throughout the day, it is amazing to see how Japanese folks look at food differently from really the rest of the world. Whether it's seafood, whether it's unusual animals, or whether it's unique preparations of those foods. Before we go, I want to say a huge thank you to the company that made this video possible, Byfood.com.
Traveling to Japan? Make your trip extra special with an omakase sushi dinner in Tokyo or a ramen cooking class in Osaka through Byfood.com. With over 800 tours, classes, and experiences, and over 3,000 restaurants across Japan. Planning a delicious trip has never been easier. Whatever you're craving, you're sure to find it on Byfood.com.
Otherwise, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Bear paw. What animals have paws that I could eat next? Not dogs. Cats? No? No, I think I'm good. I think I'm all good on paws. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a hard pause on paws for a while, couple years.